Hi everyone, and good morning from the Carnival Sunrise cruise ship. I am so happy to be back on a cruise ship. In this video here, going to show you everything the Carnival Sunrise has to offer, from the bars and the drinks, the restaurants and the food, all the activities, all the venues, and more. I go by the legend joined by my wonderful girlfriend, Molly. We're starting out here on what I feel like is the heart and soul of any cruise ship, and that is the pool deck.
Yes.
Nice and quiet right now, because we're filming this early in the morning.
But it's not normally like that.
No, not at all. So you got the one big pool there, you got two hot tubs, and kind of like terrace seating, which works really well for watching the Jumbotron, which has the movies on it.
Yes, at nighttime they do movies. They also do one movie during the day, usually a family-friendly movie.
I believe it's Inside Out 2, which actually a film I've quite enjoyed.
Yeah.
I think the plays around at 1 p.m. Now there are two different pool bars. There's going to be the Blue Iguana Tequila Bar and the Red Frog Rum Bar. So if you like more margaritas, go to that side. If you like more daiquiris, go to that side. If you want to just buy a beer, you could go to either one.
Simple.
Yes. I'm going to turn around now because right behind me is the water slides on board. They have two pretty good sized water slides on this cruise ship, along with the tipping bucket. So anybody can really enjoy the water slides. You have a couple drinks, water slides are a really fun time. The kiddos love the tipping bucket. Pretty good size.
I love the tipping bucket.
Yeah, it's a good time. Alrighty, that is the main pool area. Let's go check out the rest of the ship. Right now I am on the very back of the ship on deck 9, and this is where you have the smaller secondary pool. I think this pool tends to be less chaotic than the one right on the main Lido deck by the Jumbotron.
Yes, sadly though, it is not an adult-only pool like some other ships.
Yeah, a lot of the Carnival ships will have an adults-only pool in the back here. Not on this one, but there's way less kids in this one.
They're nice.
And it's nice. It was a little cold.
Yeah.
We had some weather on the ship, so the boat moves and then the pool moves, so it kind of felt like a wave pool. You have a couple of hot tubs up there. Some cruise ship classics, like you've got the ice cream machine. Over here is the Seafood Shack, which is an upcharge restaurant for lunch and dinner. Now for breakfast time, a good tip. This is an omelet station for breakfast, and there is no line to get an omelet for breakfast.
No.
And that is something you don't always see on a cruise ship.
No, not at all.
Of course, with there being a pool here, you can't have a pool without a pool bar on a cruise ship, and this one does run some pretty long hours.
And this is the quieter pool. You don't have music here. You don't have a DJ here.
And there's no activities act here either.
Yeah.
And this is also where you will find the pizza. The pizza opens up very long hours. Mm-hmm. It's open from like 9 a.m. till midnight. Mm-hmm. Molly, you had pizza on night 1.
Yeah, I had the pepperoni. It's really good. I really like Carnival's pizza. Sad that it's no longer the late night food. It does close at midnight.
But they do have a late night buffet that'll run to like 2 in the morning, and a lot of times they'll have chicken tenders. And man, if I use that beverage package, I love me some midnight chicken tenders.
But the pizza is horrible on the
Oh, that's true, yeah. But the chicken tenders.
This is great pizza.
Yeah. Located on the top deck, right next to the Carnival funnel, you got the sports square area. A lot of stuff you can do up here. They do have a half-court basketball, and they'll do a bunch of competitions too. They did free throws, they've done knockout.
3-on-3.
Yep. They've got cornhole set up, so you can just hang out here and play some cornhole. Molly, the one that freaks you out a little bit from time to time, they have the rope scores.
Depends on how windy it is.
Yeah. But especially like, if you can get to do this on a sea day, the views are awesome because you're...
Again, depends on how windy it is for me.
Yeah, but you get some awesome views. There's also foosball and billiards up here.
And the running track.
Yes. Right now we're all the way up on deck 11, where you will find the mini golf course here on the Sunrise. Now it is a 9-hole mini golf course, a pretty fun mini golf course as well. Now Carnival does have balls and clubs for you to use, but they are going to be like foam golf balls. So if you have a golf ball at home, I do recommend bringing it with you because it gets windy up here and those foam balls can really move, especially if the ship's moving and the wind is blowing. Located on deck 12 and deck 14, there is no deck 13 here, as that is an unlucky number. And if you skip it, it makes the ship sound bigger. That is where you'll find the Serenity deck, which is the adults only area on board the ship. Now, if you've not been on a Carnival cruise, depending on when you're sailing, there can be a lot of kids on board, but they will not be over here. This is where you get the biggest hot tub you'll find on the ship. And on a sea day, you get some really cool views looking out that way. In the adults only area, there is also a bar that'll be running most of the time in the afternoon, so you can enjoy that pina colada in this giant hot tub.
It has a specialty menu, a lot of sangrias.
Yes, and the nicest loungers are up here with the padded. Located on deck 3, right in the middle of the ship, you will find the grand atrium on board. And this is a hub of activity. It's definitely the first time all cruise this place has not been slammed.
Yes.
We are filming a lot of this video on a port day here at Celebration Key, and this bar runs crazy hours. I think it opens around 7 or 8 in the morning and will run until midnight. Also, this is a hub of entertainment on the ship. So there'll be trivia games in here, there'll be musicians. I really like the guitar guy on our sailing.
Yes.
He's been playing in here a lot. There's been parties. There was a Motown party. Tonight there's an 80s and 90s party. Some good martinis in here as well on that drink menu. Now in the atrium area, besides the fun stuff, there are some nuts and bolts kind of things. You do have a guest services, as well as a shore excursion area and a dream studio for taking fancy photos. Now I will say, if you want, there's something you want to do in the atrium here, I would try to get there early because it's a pretty small atrium. There's not a ton of seating and the bar does get very crowded. I do like the design of the atrium with kind of like this big 3D map on the ceiling. Located in the front of the ship on decks 4 and 5, you'll find the Liquid Lounge, which is the biggest venue on the ship. This is going to be the big show area. So they use this lounge quite a bit. On sea days, they've been used it for different things. This is where bingo has been a lot of the time. There's other game shows in here. But normally it's like the big shows in the evening. On our 4-night sailing, on night 1, there was a welcome aboard show. Also, late night comedy's been in here as well a couple of times. On night 2, we got the big production show. It was called Vintage Pop. Molly, you liked this one more than I did.
I did. It had songs from like the 1920s and then mid 2000s, like a lot of Ed Sheeran and Adele. I liked it.
Yeah, it was not my favorite.
It did not use a lot of tech, and
Yeah.
you're a tech person.
Yeah, I think there was more tech in the story time with the Cat in the Hat.
Yes.
Which was also in the theater. On night 3, last night, what was in the theater last night?
Deal or No Deal.
Deal or No Deal, yes, and it's kind of like a casino game. It's still fun to watch. And there was also a Guess That Groove game show. That was a lot of fun.
Yes, they do a game show in between each of the 2 shows.
Yeah.
So they usually have a 7:30 and a 9:30, I think it is.
Yeah, tonight is Comedy's back in here early, and then the Love and Marriage show is in here late. And that is the Liquid Lounge.
Lots of seating.
Located on deck 5, you get the Red Frog Pub, which I think is easily the biggest bar on board the ship.
Yes, there's a lot of activities that happen here too.
And I will say, out of everywhere on the Carnival Sunrise, these are my favorite chairs.
Yes.
They are very, very comfortable
They
chairs.
are very comfortable.
This is getting used for a lot of different things. There's a lot of trivia games will happen here in the afternoon. It's been karaoke, there's been game shows, and then it's normally live music for the band in the evenings. Big bar. I am a big fan of this bar. They have an incredible rum selection for a cruise ship.
Yes.
Really, really good.
Love your sipping rum.
Oh man, hang out here for an hour, just try a bunch of weird rums. And I also really, really like, if you go all the way to the back, that you do have some bar games in here. And again, when I'm talking about things I enjoy, having those different rums on the rocks, and then I could come back here and play shuffleboard. That is a fun hour of my day.
It is a very popular, like we've seen this slammed.
Yes, karaoke.
Karaoke was slammed, the band last night was slammed, trivia, there was a hip hop trivia.
Name that song, yeah.
Name
that was fun too.
It was.
Easily my favorite bar on board the Carnival Sunrise is this one here, the Alchemy Bar. Now this is your martini bar, your craft cocktail bar. They've got a fantastic menu with probably about 20 different drinks on there. I love, there's a deal closer, which is like an elevated chocolate martini. French Kiss is one of my favorites. That's made with like champagne and vanilla vodka.
Potion number 9's really good.
Yeah, lots of good stuff. And then these are also your most skilled bartenders on the ship, and they can really just make you anything. I've had a raspberry martini. I've had a blueberry martini. The guy told me, hey, come back later, I'll make you a strawberry cheesecake drink. And I've had that every single evening.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, Mr. Nita, Mr. Marco, and Daniel are the alchemists on the ship, and they are really, really good at their job. Located on decks 3 and 4 in the back of the ship is the Sunshine Restaurant. It's one of the 2 main dining rooms on board, and this is the one on our sailing for the My Time dining, where you check in on the app. They give you an estimated wait time, and then they tell you, hey, your table's ready, come on down to dinner. I'm gonna show you what dinner is like tonight on night 3 of our voyage. And we have made it to our table. One thing I like about the Carnival Cruise Line ship, you tend to get a bigger table, and it's more spaced out than some other ones where you're like right on top of everybody else.
Yes.
So I definitely like that. A couple meals we had at booths, which was really, really nice. Now the menus are on the QR code, so you scan the QR codes. I'm assuming if your phone's not working, they'll probably have a paper menu they could give you. And I do think it's really, really cool because if you swipe on the menu, it'll take you to different menus. So like that's the gluten-free menu. This is the vegan menu. That's the wine menu. So I think that's really a good feature on the app. Now one thing that makes dinner on Carnival Cruise Line very fun, they do showtime every night where the waiters do dance for you. The appetizer course has arrived. Molly got these stuffed mushrooms. And I went for something very traditional, the French onion soup. The main course has arrived. Molly got the chicken parmesan, which is like a very good portion. And mine smells terrific. I got the pepper steak. The dessert has arrived. Molly got the Carnival Classic, the chocolate melting cake with a side of peanut butter. And I went for a very fancy looking tiramisu. Located at the end of the promenade deck on deck 5, you do have the piano bar. The piano guy on our sailing is a gentleman named KG, and he is fantastic.
Yes, he has a great personality.
And a great voice. He's a fantastic piano guy. He's
knows
fun,
a lot of songs.
a variety of songs as well. This bar also has a specialty drink menu, and the piano bar is rolling. I like that showstopper martini quite a bit. Last time we didn't come in here at all. I spent a lot of time in here on night 1. Do you ever want to come back in here this evening? Located on deck 5, right off the atrium, you do have the Heroes Tribute Bar, which is the sports bar on board. I love the big giant screens, and even though it's the sports bar, they do have some really good drinks. We've got some fancy cocktails right now. I've got the Heroes Tribute Martini, it's delicious. Molly's got one made with Tang, and this is not very crowded right now. It's actually one of the coolest places on the ship from like an air conditioning standpoint. But this is also very popular in the evening times when sports are on, like last night for Sunday night, or last night was Thursday night football.
Thursday, yeah.
And that was very, very crowded. But I'm sure it'll be Sunday, it'll probably be packed.
Yes, it's not a big space, so get here early.
Yeah. Located on the pool deck, you will find the Blue Iguana Cantina, which is the quick, free Mexican restaurant. Now, I'm actually here at breakfast time because this is open for breakfast, and you get to build your own breakfast burrito. And it's actually one of my favorite breakfasts you can get on the ship. As you can see, Molly is loading one up there. All sorts of fun stuff. They also do huevos rancheros.
Cheese and guacamole.
Now for lunch, they have tacos and burritos. But yeah, this place for breakfast, it is good stuff. Quite possibly the most famous food location on any Carnival cruise ship is Guy's Burger Joint. Now this is included with the cost of your cruise. It's located right on the main pool deck, and this is where you can go for lunch and get some really, really good diner-style burgers. I like mine with an onion ring, bacon, donkey sauce, and potato strips. One thing that's cool about the Carnival Sunrise is that Guy's Burgers is actually open for breakfast. Now you can get a burger with a fried egg on top, or this wacky turkey sausage burger that comes with hash browns and is served on a French toast bun. Now, those cheeseburgers are not the only Guy Fieri restaurant on the Carnival Sunrise. If you go up one deck above during lunch on Embarkation Day or Sea Days, there's Guy's Pig and Anchor Barbecue. Now, this is included with the cost of your cruise venue, and they serve up your traditional barbecue favorites: chicken, beef, sausage, pork butt, along with mac and cheese and some other sides. It is very, very tasty. On deck 4, you will find the Limelight Lounge, which is one of the bigger entertainment venues on the ship, and it's used for a couple different things. Now, in the early evening, this might be the comedy club on board, or it might be the karaoke bar on board, depending on the evening, but every single night of the cruise, it is where the nightclub is on board. The nightclub runs, I think, from 11 p.m. till 2 in the morning, and every night the nightclub does have a different theme, and it was very, very popular on our sailing. Located on deck 11 in the front of the ship, you'll find the Cloud 9 Spa, which is the spa on board the Carnival Sunrise. Now, Molly and I, we are really not spa people, but we did take the spa tour to check things out. They do a spa event on the first day of the sailing where you get to go on a tour and learn all about the services. You can sign up for them. There's also a raffle in hopes of winning some prizes in the spa area. Now, the spa does have a big salon section if you want to get a manicure, pedicure, or haircut. There's also lots and lots of rooms to get all of your different massages and treatments done. They do a whole bunch of stuff on the sailing. They even do IV therapy, so if you had a really, really rough night on that beverage package, well, they might be able to help you out for quite the cost. Now, something I found interesting about the Carnival Sunrise, it's one of the few Carnival ships that I've seen that offers a thermal suite area. Now, this is something you could buy a pass for and then use throughout the entire length of your sailing. And they had saunas and steam rooms in there. My favorite part, these big heated stone loungers. And the prices on it, I think it might have been around $100 or so for the 4 days. I know it was considerably cheaper than other cruise lines. And this is also the area where you'll find the gym on board the Carnival Sunrise. So if you had 3 burgers the day before, you want to go work it off, you could do so in the gym. They also will have fitness classes in here, some for a cost, some included. But there we go, that is the spa. Located on deck 5, right in the middle of the ship, you will find the casino on board, which has been one of the most popular places on this sailing.
It's been slammed.
Yes. And it is a pretty good sized casino. It is a smoking casino when the casino is open. They've got a whole bunch of table games here in the middle, and then your slot machines on the outside. They do have ones like this. Like, I love these when you get to play like the video versions, like video blackjack. Big fan of that, or video poker as well. Molly, what are some of the table games they have here on board the Sunrise?
They have roulette, 3-card prime, blackjack, Fun 21, Let It Ride, Heads Up Hold'em, and craps. Yep.
And lots of different slot machines.
Yeah, I like how they have old and new slot machines.
The very popular Buffalo slot machine.
Yeah.
These games have been very popular as well. The coin pushing games. Don't think they have the best odds.
No, if you see an S, that's like the rarest one.
Yes.
So if you think you can get an S very easily, I would play.
Yes, that's kind of the trick. Like BONU, and you've got all 5 chips, that is $100. They do have a good-sized bar in here as well that operates whenever the casino is operating. And it would operate more than that too. Like, it's open on embarkation day, right when you get on board.
And there's sports.
Yes. And I also just like games like this. Again, I'm not sure the odds compared to some of the other games.
Not good.
But
my guess.
But I like when I'm at the bar, I like watching other people play.
Yeah.
This is a big cash crane, just like you would, but instead of winning a plushie, you could win $100. Located on deck 4 in the atrium area, you do have the photo gallery. So if you took any pictures on board, you would pick them up here. Also, if you're a returning cruiser on, I think it's gold, platinum, or diamond level, this is where you would go at the moment to pick up your loyalty gift. And it's also where you would find the Java Blue Cafe, which is the coffee shop on board. Now, this is where you go get your fancy Starbucks-style coffees. I love that they have Powerades in here. That is fantastic. They also have milkshakes. And if you're on the beverage package, it would be included. Some fun stuff. They do have some board games you can play. And while this cruise ship does not have a library, there are books here that you can read if you want to. But one book they don't have, so we're going to leave it, is Experience the Point. Yes, the book Hyde wrote about Cedar Point all the way back in 2007. We're going to take it and leave it on the ship. Located on deck 10 above the buffet, you'll find Cucina del Capitano. Now, this, for lunch, is a complimentary pasta bar. And the way it works, you get to your sheet here, and you get to jazz up your pasta however you like. In the evening time, this becomes a specialty restaurant that costs $24 a person to dine in. We've eaten here in the past, it's been very good. But I really like the lunch. And here's what our pasta looks like. We got Alfredo sauce, bow tie pasta, sausage, chicken, and onions. And there's that delicious, delicious bread. I will say, if you come for dinner, that is one of the best fares I've ever had on a cruise ship, is the dinner time bread here at the Cucina del Capitano. Located on deck 9, you'll find the Lido Marketplace, the main buffet on board. Let's go see what's for dinner tonight. Tonight's dinner service starts off with some cold cuts. I'm excited. I love me some prosciutto. There are apples and pears. There are a variety of cold salads. We've got coleslaw, potato salad, Moroccan sweet potato salad, and Asian chicken chopped salad. There's an area for breads, including gluten-free bread. And now we get to the good stuff, starting off with vegetable rice pilaf, penne moriscos, bourbon chicken, jerk spice pork, roasted vegetable, mashed potatoes, enchiladas, and on the carving station this evening, it is turkey. The soup of the day is parched pig, ale, and cheddar soup. You got 2 different types of cookies, a carrot cake, and I think I know which way I'm going. There is marble cheesecake. There's also a hot dessert. It's caramelized peach polenta warm pudding. and then a build-your-own salad area. Open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. in the buffet area is the Carnival Deli, where you can get all sorts of made-to-order sandwiches. They're really good stuff. Molly grabbed dinner at the deli. She got the ham and cheese sandwich. Located in the buffet area for lunch, there is Lucky Bowl, which is an Asian food outlet, and they have different bowls on different days. In the buffet area, there are beverage stations where you can get coffee or lemonade and iced tea. Right now, we're at one of the quietest places on board the ship. If you come all the way forward on deck 6 and 7, you get to these wonderful outdoor areas right near the front of the ship. There's a couple of them. We're currently in port at Carnival's actually new private destination Celebration Key. So as with something like this, you could get some really, really cool views from up here. This is fun. On deck 5, they have the Warehouse Arcade, which is a pretty good size arcade for a cruise ship.
It is.
Lots of very modern games in here.
Mm-hmm. Games I've never seen before.
Yeah. It's also very, very loud in here. And there's nobody in here. We're the only people in here. It's just very loud. And they have a Zoltar. If you win any prizes for from the ticket games, you cash them in at this machine. There's a crane machine. All sorts of stuff.
They do have power hour on their ship, so you get discounted prices at certain times, and check the fun guides.
Yeah. Big fan of Pearl Fishery. That's a really fun arcade game. And now, these games, unfortunately, they do all cost money. It looks like the cheapest package you can buy is $20. Located on deck 12 in the front of the ship is where you will find Camp Ocean, which is the kids club on board. Now, at various points in time on the cruise at different times, you can drop the kids off here and have them do all sorts of activities. Some of them sounded pretty fun.
Yes.
There was a magic show for the kids. We are sailing during October, so there was a Halloween party and trick-or-treating for the kids.
Yeah.
They've had some fun stuff. Located just off the main atrium on deck 4, you have the Fahrenheit 555 Steakhouse. Now, this is the upcharge restaurant, one of 3 upcharge restaurants on the ship, and this one is the most expensive of them. It is $52 for adults, so yeah, it's definitely a chunk of change, but they do have some really, really good menu items. It's where you can go get your fancy steaks, a chocolate sphere for dessert, pork belly. Something I love about the steakhouse, it's the only place on board where you can get Blanton's bourbon, which is my personal favorite brand of bourbon. So I was thinking about just booking the steakhouse today, so then I can order some Blanton's. It is one of the smaller steakhouses that you will find. There is also no bar in here. A lot of the ones you'll go to on a Carnival ship, there'll be a bar in the steakhouse area, not here on the Sunrise. Located on the promenade deck, deck 5, you do have Bonsai Sushi, which is the smallest of the specialty restaurants on board. It's also the cheapest, as this is one where you pay per item. So you can see over here, the sushi rolls do run about $9 or $10. You can also get a bento box, ramen, and more. Located on deck 2, just past the atrium. So the atrium will be up there, and down one deck below is the art gallery on board. So if you are interested in buying art, this is where you would do that. And they do your traditional cruise ship art things like the art auction and scavenger hunts and things. Yep. And some of the sculptures are pretty cool. I would encourage you to do your research before you're buying art on a cruise ship and make sure that it is indeed a good deal for you. They have Star Wars stuff, so I am now interested. And I'm not sure if I've seen this one with Maleficent on it. That is pretty neat. I do like whenever cruise ships have this. On deck 3, you can go outside and take in those ocean views, which today on our sea day, we did not have the best of luck with weather. So not a sunny sea day, you're not going to the pool, but it is still nice if you want to come outside and get some fresh air.
And the seats are comfortable.
Yeah, the seats are pretty comfortable. Also, good place to come watch like sunset at sea later on. Maybe you're feeling the motion of the ocean or the drink package. Come outside and get some fresh air. I like when ships have a big promenade like this. Now, it doesn't go all the way around, but it's pretty spacious. Located on deck 5, you'll find all the shops on board. Let's go take a look at some of the shopping they have here on the Carnival Sunrise. The first store is the smallest store. It is Cherry on Top, which is the candy store. Now, it is also the most kid-friendly store, as you would guess. And, they have some wacky candy in here, like toxic waste, slime liquor squeeze sour candy.
That doesn't sound good.
No, they do have the, you can make a mix and match candy over here. They'll also have some more kid-friendly souvenirs, like stuff for Dr. Seuss. Actually, some pretty nice bags and pillows as well. There's also a small section for the Carnival Adventures, those things you might need on a shore excursion, as well as tumbler cups. Molly, this one's your favorite here.
I really like those.
Yeah. It has all the different Carnival ships on it, and you're given stickers with the cup. So the idea is that when you visit or go on that Carnival ship, you then put the sticker on your cup. We are now in what I would call the expensive store. Sunglasses, perfumes, and jewelry. My favorite part about coming in this store is checking out the different watches. They have like Marvel and Star Wars watches, and this Star Wars one is so cool. You can see, I believe it's Luke battling Vader, but the hands that tell time are lightsabers. The third and final store is my personal favorite, as this is your Carnival logo store, where you can get all of your Carnival merchandise or your Carnival Sunrise merchandise. They have Celebration Key merchandise, which is their new private destination.
I kind of like this each bag.
Yeah.
I wish it was a zipper instead of clip.
Pretty nice. The one souvenir Molly and I buy on pretty much every cruise ship we go on is the cruise ship ornament if they sell it, and they do indeed for the Carnival Sunrise. I also like this one. They have a Christmas ornament of the captain's hat. For $50, you can take home a model of the cruise ship, and they also have a whole bunch of t-shirts. They have a couple different Carnival Spirit jerseys.
And one for the sunrise.
All right. Another piece of merchandise I absolutely love. You can buy a plushie of Fun Ship Freddy, the former mascot of Carnival Cruise Line.
Wait, do they have two different versions?
Looks pretty similar to me.
No.
You can buy a hat made out of the Carnival funnel. This is an awesome souvenir. A floating speaker. And I like some of this stuff too, like a cruise ship 3D puzzle, or for lack of a better term, fake Legos. The walkie-talkies are adorable. More shirts over here. Tiny, tiny shorts.
Did you forget a belt?
If you forgot a belt, they sell belts. That's good. I've done that before. Molly, how much does Carnival Cruise Line charge for a belt?
That is $40.
Oh my!
Don't forget a belt.
You can buy some very snazzy, stylish backpacks. This store is also home to your duty-free liquor and duty-free cigarettes. There's also an area that will sell toiletries, so other stuff you may have forgotten, whether it be like deodorant or toothpaste, medicine, they will sell you at upcharge cruise ship prices.
In our sailing, they've had a tasting every day.
Yeah, free liquor tasting like every night. I got to try some good stuff yesterday. Definitely want to come back to that. And finishing up the tour by showing off what our cabin looked like. We were in 1292, which is an interior cabin. I think it's a pretty good, spacious interior cabin. A nice, big, comfortable bed, random floor space. One of the biggest TVs I've had on a cruise ship. Mm-hmm. There was on-demand movies. Some were paid, some were free. You could watch things like the one movies that were free were a little weird. It was like Scary Movie 5, Talladega Nights.
Kind of older.
102 Dalmatians was on there.
Mm-hmm.
You do have a hairdryer in that, and then a cooler kind of thing, a cooler or a bad fridge in that one. Plenty of storage. Mm-hmm. One of these does have a safe in it. And then there is the bathroom, the dreaded shower curtain. The bathroom does seem like it's been in a war with sand for like 20 years, and it's losing that battle. And no cruise ship tour is going to be complete without that terrifying toilet noise. And there we go. That'll do it for our tour of the Carnival Sunrise. Some practical information on our sailing. The cruise cost was $312 per person. Now that does include the taxes and port fees, and it did not include the beverage package. We did buy the Cheers beverage program, which I think was around like $70, $75 a day per person, and we got really good use out of that.
We did.
Now, if you were curious, yes, the Carnival Sunrise was formerly known as the Carnival Triumph, aka the infamous poop cruise. One of the things, if you Google the Carnival Sunrise, is like, does the Carnival Sunrise still smell? It does not. One day, our floor, like for about 45 minutes, all the toilets did stop working. So I guess it is still not perfect from that horrible cruise, but there was nothing pure chaos.
But that also has happened on numerous other ships.
Oh yeah,
before.
yeah, absolutely. The cruise ship toilets are very, very temperamental. Now let's get into some of the parts we liked and some of the parts we didn't like about our cruise on the Sunrise. First of all, big ups. The first thing I really enjoyed on this cruise was the crew. One thing I liked about this crew, they seemed like they were a little bit more down to earth, like they're letting their hair down more. They were kind of like talking to you like you're a normal person. Hey, what are you doing? What do you like? That kind of stuff. And some, it feels like this really weird. You go on some cruises and it's like servant, servee. It's kind of awkward. And I did not get the case with that at all on the Sunrise.
I agree. The crew was very friendly. They went out of their way. They got to know you, got to know us, talked regular, talks about sports or things that we liked.
One thing I really liked, rum is my personal favorite liquor of choice. They have that rum bar on the pool deck and the rum pub down on the promenade deck. And man, they've got such a good rum selection. I had my fair amount of rum on this ship, and I got all these different types of rum, some I never had before, which was really fun.
One of my favorite things was the Halloween activity lineup. They had so many special events for Halloween at the time that we were cruising. So it's not the same trivia, same shows, same game shows that were going on and on. I really liked how variant and how much they offered during Halloween.
Yeah, they did a special Halloween deck party. They played special Halloween themed movies and the trivias as well. Moving on, something I liked, I don't know if you partook in this as much as I did, but 3 out of the 4 nights on my cruise, I ended up at that midnight buffet, and every time I got the chicken tenders.
I did not. I only got the pizza. But the line was not bad for the pizza. Usually, sometimes you wait for a long time. The longest I think I waited was 15 minutes, and that's because I wanted pepperoni, and they only had regular cheese.
I also like how much the ship had to do in the evening time. During the day, I think there's not as much going on, especially on like some of the sea days. They're like, oh, they don't want to counter-program bingo, or they just think everyone's going to be out by the pool. But in the evening, stuff going on in the main theater, the atrium, the comedy club, movies up top. You could go play mini golf if you wanted to. You could go in the hot tubs. Like there was so much to do in the evening.
I really liked Celebration Key. That was a really fun port. That pool was massive.
Gotta be the biggest pool I've ever seen in my entire life. This Carnival's brand new private destination just opened up over the summer on Grand Bahama Island. And yeah, it's really, really nice. It makes the cruise so much better than going to a port like Nassau or the old Freeport cruise port. It is a pretty good sized value add, I think, to that Carnival vacation. Now, those are the things we liked about the Sunrise. There were sometimes things we did not like about this ship, and I think a bunch of them it was a sold-out cruise, and with that come some lines and some chaos, and there was a couple of areas where that was very, very evident. Now, you have to check in for dinner on the app, or check in for sea day brunch on the app. But
if you have the My Time.
Yes, if you have the My Time. And then the area where there's people waiting to go into the dining room is very, very small, and it's very chaotic.
What we do is we will check in and we will be at a bar or watching sports and won't go down until our number is called because you have about 10 minutes to get there. But a lot of people just wait outside that dining room and then you go there and you're not sure who's waiting for, who has already have a table. At one point, there was 2 different lines of people waiting to be seated. It was complete chaos. One thing I didn't like is that we were on a 4-night and there was only one big projection show. The other nights it was Deal or No Deal, Love and Marriage.
Comedians were in there.
Yeah. And I'm fine with the comedians because sometimes those lounges are too small, so it's nice to use the big theater. But you don't need 2 games of Deal or No Deal in the evening.
I feel like the bankers at Carnival Cruise Line would disagree with you.
Yeah.
And that's probably why it happens. One thing, I think there's kind of no excuse for this one. A lot of events didn't start on time. Like something would be advertised to start at 5 o'clock and it would start at 5:10. There's no excuse for that. I'm paying guests, don't waste my time by being late. And that happened
numerous times.
Yeah, once or twice a day.
For me, there was no adult pool. It was a sold-out ship. There was quite a few kids, so there was no pool to just relax and enjoy.
Yeah, I mean that back pool was much less little kid chaos than the one that's right by the Jumbotron but there were still, kids splashing and then lifeguards yelling at the kids not to splash. And it's just like, this isn't an ideal place to enjoy my beer. Hey, one of those things that happens, it's a luck of the draw. Weather on our sailing was not great. Our stay at sea was pretty much rain the entire time. We had to miss the port of Half Moon Cay because the winds were too high. So then we had an extra sea day because of that. And that's just one of those things, man, that happens sometimes.
And with that, you do feel the crowds inside the ship. The atrium and the buffets do not handle the crowds well. You feel a lot of people there. Yeah,
and I believe when this ship did change from the Triumph to the Sunrise, they took out lounge space in public areas and put in more staterooms. And that, when you're on a sold-out sailing, in certain areas, it does really feel it.
Yeah.
All right, so there we go. That's kind of what we didn't like about the Sunrise. Now some staff shout-outs, some of our favorite crew members we ran into during this voyage. Savio in the main dining room, Vladimir in the sports bar, and Needham and Daniel at the Alchemy Bar. Now, thank you very much for watching this video. If you guys didn't watch videos like this, me and Molly couldn't go on as many cruises as we do, and it's one of our absolute favorite adventures to go on. If you like this video, maybe you want to watch another one, like our tour of Celebration Key, the new Carnival private destination.